Hello, and welcome back to Future Forward, the podcast where we explore the trends, tools, and mindsets shaping tomorrow's world. I'm your host, Maria.
And I'm Gabriel. It is great to be back in the studio with you, Maria.
It's great to be back with you, too. And, okay, I have to say, we have a topic today that I am just so excited to dive into. I think it's going to genuinely change the game for a lot of people listening.
I can tell. You have that look in your eye. You've been practically vibrating with energy all morning. What have we got?
We are talking about online businesses you can start with, wait for it, absolutely $0.
$0.
Zip, zilch, nada.
Okay, that's a bold claim. A very bold claim. When you say zero, are we talking literally not a single penny? No hidden fees, no just buy this one small thing catch?
No catch. I mean, okay, let's assume you have a laptop and an internet connection, which, if you're listening to this podcast, is a pretty safe bet.
Right, the basic tools of modern life.
Exactly. But beyond that, we're talking about businesses you can launch today without spending anything on software, inventory, or advertising. It's about leveraging what you already have, your skills, your time, and that creative spark we know our listeners have.
Okay, so let's unpack that because I think a lot of people here start a business and they immediately see dollar signs, or rather, money flowing out. They think of incorporation fees, website hosting, branding consultants.
Oh, 100%. And that's the first major hurdle we need to get over. It's a mindset shift. The $0 startup isn't about a specific tactic. It's about changing your entire perspective from what do I need to buy to what can I do?
From a consumer mindset to a producer mindset.
Exactly. So many brilliant people get stuck in, what do you call it, analysis paralysis?
They spent 6 months designing the perfect logo for a business that doesn't have a single customer.
Right, and they never actually start. But the truth is, the most valuable asset in the beginning isn't a fancy brand guide. It's your own expertise, your own passion. It's the thing you can do that someone else can't or simply doesn't have the time to do.
So the model here is to trade your time and your skill directly for income first. Use that initial income, which you earned at no cost, to then reinvest back into the business for growth. You buy the domain name with your first paycheck, not with your saving.
You got it. It's about creating a proof of concept with zero financial risk. If you put yourself out there and get clients, great, you validated your idea. If you don't, well, you haven't lost a dime. You've just learned something.
That's a powerful position to be in. It removes the fear of failure, or at least the sting of failure.
It really does. So, okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty. Let's talk about the actual businesses. The easiest, most direct path to a $0 startup is by offering a service.
The classic freelance model. You're essentially a one-person agency. This is where you package a skill you have and sell it, and the range of what you can do here is immense.
It really is. So, Gabriel, what's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of freelancing?
For me, it's writing, content writing, copywriting, editing, proofreading. Every single business in the world needs written words, whether it's for their website, their blog, their social media, or their emails.
Yes, that's a huge one. If you have a knack for words, you can start today. You can literally create a simple portfolio in a Google Doc with a few writing samples and start reaching out to businesses.
And what about on the more visual side?
Oh, graphic design is a perfect example. People hear design and they think you need to shell out hundreds for the Adobe Creative Suite.
Which is powerful software, but not essential to start.
Not at all. You can use a free tool like Canva and become a specialist in creating, say, social media graphics for small businesses, or Pinterest pins, or YouTube thumbnails. You can build an entire business just doing that.
That's a really good point. Niching down is key. You don't have to be a full-service design agency. You can be the YouTube thumbnail guy.
Totally. And what about video? That's everywhere now.
Another perfect one. So many creators and businesses are shooting content, but they hate the editing process. There's professional-grade free software out there like DaVinci Resolve. It has a learning curve, sure, but you can learn it from free tutorials on YouTube.
Imagine that your business is editing YouTube videos and you learn how to do it on YouTube. It's so circular. I love it. You could specialize in short form video, editing TikToks and Instagram Reels for people. That's a massive market.
A huge market. Okay, so we've covered creative services. Let's shift to the more administrative or organizational side of things. The one that always comes to mind for me is the virtual assistant, the VA.
Oh, VAs are absolute lifesavers for busy entrepreneurs. Explain what a VA does for anyone who might not know.
It can be almost anything that can be done remotely. The core of it is taking administrative or repetitive tasks off someone else's plate. That could be managing their email inbox, scheduling their appointments, posting to their social media accounts, doing basic data entry, or handling customer service inquiry.
Right, and again, your office is just your laptop. There's no overhead. You're just selling your organizational skills and your reliability.
Exactly. Another one in that vein is social media management. It's a step beyond just creating the graphics. It's about planning the content calendar, writing the captions, engaging with the comments, and actually growing the accounts for a small business that doesn't have time to do it themselves.
And you can use free versions of schedulers like Buffer or Later to manage multiple clients. The tools are all there. What about something more technical? And let's not forget about coaching or tutoring. If you have expertise in a particular subject, whether it's a language, a musical instrument, a school subject, or even a business skill, you can offer one-on-one sessions. All you need is a free video conferencing tool like Google Meet or Zoom.
Well, you could build simple websites for local businesses using platforms like Card or even the free version of WordPress. A lot of small mom and pop shops have either no web presence or a very outdated one. You could offer a simple, clean, one-page website as a service.
That's a fantastic one. The barrier to entry is just your knowledge. You can find your first students in local Facebook groups or by word of mouth. And it's not just academic, it could be fitness coaching, life coaching, career coaching. The possibilities are endless.
That's a great one. Or even just setting up and managing their Google business profile. It's amazing how many businesses haven't cleaned theirs or don't optimize it. You could sell that as a small, one-time service. What about something for people who are great listeners and fast typists?
The key takeaway for any service based business is to think about pain points. What are people or businesses struggling with? What tasks do they hate doing? If you can provide a solution to a problem, you have a business.
Transcription services, that's a huge one. Podcasters, YouTubers, researchers, they all need transcripts. There are free tools to help you get started with that too.
And don't underestimate your own skills. Things that seem easy to you, like organizing a spreadsheet or editing a short video, are things other people will happily pay to have taken off their plate. And on the audio front, if you have a decent microphone and a clear voice, you could get into voiceover work for small projects, explainer videos, podcast intros, that kind of thing. Okay, so we've listed a ton of amazing service-based businesses people can start. But this brings us to the biggest question, the one I know is on everyone's mind. Where do I actually find the clients?
Absolutely. Okay, so that's the direct time for money model. But there is another path. It's a much longer game, but the potential upside is significantly higher. The $1,000,000 question, which hopefully we can answer for $0. It's the biggest hurdle for most people. They have the skill, but they don't know how to market themselves.
You're talking about the content and audience-based businesses, my favorite topic. Exactly, so let's break it down. What's the absolute first step, Gabriel?
Of course it is. This is your world. This covers things like starting a YouTube channel, a podcast like this one, a blog, or even just growing a following on a platform like Instagram, TikTok, or LinkedIn.
That's a fantastic point. It's like a soft launch of your business. A simple post on your personal Facebook or LinkedIn saying, "Hey everyone, I'm excited to share that I'm now offering freelance writing services for businesses. If you know anyone who might need help with their blog or website, I'd be grateful for a connection." The $0 part here is that all of these platforms are fundamentally free to use. It costs nothing to upload a video to YouTube. It costs nothing to write an article on Medium or LinkedIn. It costs nothing to start a podcast using a free host like Anchor.
That's a fantastic one. The barrier to entry is just your knowledge. You can find your first students in local Facebook groups or by word of mouth. And it's not just academic, it could be fitness coaching, life coaching, career coaching. The possibilities are endless. Right, but the investment is different. It's not money, it's a massive investment of time and consistency. You're not getting paid for the first article or the first video. Exactly. It's about being visible and demonstrating your value before you ever ask for a sale. You're building social capital.
Oh, not at all. You're not getting paid for the 10th or maybe even the 100th piece of content. The model here is completely flipped. You provide value consistently for free to build a community of people who know, like, and trust you. Right, that's the fastest way to get banned and ignored. You have to provide value first.
And then, once you have that audience and that trust, you can introduce monetization. That's a fantastic point. It's about demonstrating your value up front. You can also create content that showcases your skills. If you're a graphic designer, create a post that breaks down the design process for a logo. If you're a writer, share tips on how to write better headlines. This not only shows your expertise, but also attracts the kind of clients you want to work with.
Exactly. Let's talk about what those monetization methods look like, because they also cost nothing to set up. The most common one to start with is affiliate marketing.
That's a fantastic point. It's about demonstrating your skills in a low-risk way for the client. If you're a designer, you could offer a free audit of a company's social media graphics with 3 concrete suggestions for improvement. You're providing value up front, which builds immense trust, which in simple terms is just recommending products or services that you genuinely use and love. You get a special tracking link, and if someone clicks your link and makes a purchase, you earn a small commission at no extra cost to them. That's a fantastic, actionable strategy. It removes all the risk for the potential client and shows that you're confident in your abilities. It's the ultimate show, don't tell.
Yep. If you have a blog about home coffee brewing, you can link to your favorite grinder on Amazon. If you have a YouTube channel about software, you can have an affiliate link for that software. It's free to join most affiliate programs.
That's a brilliant, brilliant strategy. It's about reducing friction and building trust. You're making it incredibly easy for them to say yes to you. Then there's, of course, things like YouTube AdSense or programmatic ads on a blog. Once you reach a certain threshold of views or followers, you can essentially turn on ads and get paid based on how many people see them. That is such a powerful and underutilized strategy. It takes the risk away for the client and shows that you're confident in your abilities. It's the ultimate show, don't tell.
But as you said, Gabriel, this is the long game. The reason it works is because it's built on a foundation of passion. You have to be genuinely interested in the topic you're creating content about. Otherwise, you will burn out.
That's a brilliant low-risk strategy. It's about demonstrating confidence in your own abilities. You're so sure they'll love it that you're willing to give them the first taste for free. It's a powerful sales tool. There's no faking it for that long. You can't produce 100 videos about a topic you find boring. The audience will see right through it.
Never. But the upside, if you can stick with it, the upside is incredible. You're not just earning money, you're building an asset. You're building a brand and a community that you can then monetize in other ways, like with digital products, courses, or sponsorships.
It moves from active income like freelancing to more passive or scalable income. You can create one video that gets viewed millions of times over several years, earning you money while you sleep. You can't do that when you're selling your hours one-to-one.
That scalability is the magic of the creator economy.
Okay, so whether someone is starting a service business or a content business, they're going to need some tools to help them run things. Let's talk about the free resources available.
Yes, let's do a quick fire round. The top free tools someone can use to get started right now. You go first.
Easy. Google Suite. Docs, Sheets, Slides, Forms, Drive. It is your entire back office. You can write proposals, create invoices, track clients in a spreadsheet, build surveys, all for free.
My turn. Canva. We mentioned it before, but it's essential for any graphic design needs: logos, social posts, presentations, ebook covers, YouTube thumbnails. The free version is incredibly powerful.
Okay, for organization, Notion or Trello. You need a place to manage your projects, your clients, your content ideas. Both have amazing free plans that are more than enough to get you started. Keeps you from getting overwhelmed.
Ooh, good one. For communication, there's Slack for client comms or Calendly for booking discovery calls. The free Calendly plan lets people book a time on your calendar without that endless back and forth of what time works for you.
That's a professional touch that costs nothing. And for building an email list, which is crucial, services like MailChimp or MailerLite have free tiers until you hit your first 1,000 subscribers or so.
And last but not least, your smartphone. Seriously, it is a high quality camera for photos and videos. It's a note taking device. It's a social media manager. It's an entire production studio right there in your pocket. Don't underestimate it.
The barrier to entry, technologically speaking, has never been lower. Everything you need is readily available and, for the most part, free.
It really hasn't. It's pretty amazing when you stop and think about it.
All right, so as we start to wrap this all up, I think the core message here is that the excuse of, I don't have any money to start is, well, it's just not valid anymore.
Not at all. The real currency in the beginning is your skill, your creativity, and most importantly, your consistency. The new barrier isn't capital, it's commitment.
That's well said. So the path is clear. Start with a service to get some immediate cash flow and validate your skills in the market. Or start building an audience around something you're deeply passionate about.
Or, and this is the pro move, you do both at the same time.
Go on.
You use the money you make from your freelance social media management gig to buy a better microphone for the podcast you're starting on the side. Or you use the income from editing videos to run a small ad for your own YouTube channel. You let one feed the other.
The flywheel effect, creating your own startup capital. That is a brilliant strategy. It's about being resourceful.
Exactly. So our challenge to you, our amazing listeners, is this. Spend some time this week thinking about one skill you have that you could offer as a service. Just one. And at the same time, think about one topic you are passionate enough about that you could talk or write about it for a whole year. Okay, so we've laid out all these amazing business models and the free tools to get them started. But I think we need to tackle the biggest question, the one that stops most people in their tracks. This all sounds great, but where do I actually find people who will pay me?
And then just start. Don't wait for the perfect moment or the perfect logo. Create a simple offer. Write one article. Record one video. Put something out into the world.
We would genuinely love to hear what you're building. You can find us on all the social platforms at Future Forward Pod. Send us a message, tag us in your post, let us know what you're starting.
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for tuning in to Future Forward.
Stay curious and keep building. Bye, everyone.